Landscape. Voice search. Google.
Today I will be reviewing the alpha version of the Yandex browser, which is a web browser for surfing the web. There are quite a few versions of the Yandex browser, which are developed by the Yandex company. Those include the Yandex browser, along with the Yandex browser with Protect. They also do a Yandex browser beta version, and they do the alpha version, which we'll be reviewing. So, despite the many versions, the Yandex browsers do have a consistent theme, and the reason why is the different versions enable you to test upcoming updates that the app developer plans to introduce to later browsers or some of its browsers, so therefore the consistent theme. So even actually no, so excuse me there. Okay, so as you can see that I have got an article open, and you can access a number of options such as the new tab icon. There are also different options in the browser menu, so you can share, you can report an error on the website, add to Tableau, so which I think is like your favorite section. You can also bookmark this page. You can share, add to home screen, so should you choose to make your current website or article a shortcut, password manager, and many more features. There's also a power saving feature should you desire to use it, and again that is a very handy feature as well. There is a close all tabs function there, meaning that you don't have to close individual tabs, and you've also got your settings so you can customize the browser. In the settings you get your split screen view, so your sections are on the left and your content relating to the sections is on the right, and that therefore means that you can work in a flow order without having to retrace your steps. The sync settings enables you to share your browsing data on your account, so it can then be accessed by other devices should they have the Yandex browser installed. However, you are not forced to sign in to your account, meaning that you have the choice to either keep your data private on one device or share it with others, which is a very good advantage there. You've got your power saving mode and other information to indicate your device's performance, which is again very helpful information. You've also got a turbo mode option, and what that does is it enables you to get the best performance and fastest performance that the browser has to offer, and there are a number of options that you can choose. When it comes to the turbo mode, you can enable it when you want and basically how you want, and you can always disable it, which is very good. The browser has voice input features, and it also has the Alice voice assistant built in, so you can tell the browser to perform certain actions as well as do your voice search, which is a very good advantage. And also, if you struggle with a touchscreen keyboard, then the voice feature will sure come in handy. You've got search engine settings as well, and although this may seem a small thing, I have seen some browsers that don't even have a search section, let alone a list of search engine preferences. And when we look in the section, you've got search engine Yahoo, search engine Google, which is ticked and is ticked by default. Search engine DuckDuckGo, search engine Yandex, which is Yandex is a search engine to go with the Yandex browser, and you've also got search engine Bing as well. So you can have multiple tabs in the browser, and if you decide to switch from one tab to the other, you can do so easily. So I'm switching from Facebook to the fixed wing aircraft that I was viewing. The chat option enables you to communicate with the Alice voice assistant, and I think it is also there if you have any Yandex friends that you communicate via the Yandex browser. You can chat with them as well, which is very good. Now, what about the downsides? Well, as good as this browser may seem, there are a few downsides to it. First of all, the icon on the home screen doesn't really give the browser an identity. It just says browser alpha, and again, most browsers, although they have different versions, such as the Chrome, they would be marked Chrome Canary, Chrome Dev, Chrome Beta, but in this case it just says browser alpha. So it'd be nice if it had some sort of identity to the browser, but that is that. Also, the new tab icon, although it is in the top right hand corner, it used to be on the top left hand corner, and therefore it is next to the row of recently opened tabs, because as you can see, though, you've got the number of tabs I have open on the very top of the screen, and next to the last tab is the new tab icon. And again, it would be nice if it was in a consistent location. While most browsers have a home screen, this one does as well, but also the home screens will have a set of pages that you can click on rather than relying on your memory to think up what to search for. There are a set of pages on the Yandex browser homepage. However, if I turn the volume up a little bit, it just reads out a load of technical jargon followed by the website's address, and again, I would prefer it if it just said Facebook, Twitter, without giving all this technical jargon. The Alice voice assistant that I was talking about earlier, instead of speaking in the English language, I think it speaks in Russian, and again, I would like it to sort of stick to my system preferences, and changing the language settings for the Alice voice assistant does seem a little bit hard. So if any of you know how to do it, then I would sort of appreciate your comments. So when you are searching or typing in your search term with the browser, you can be interrupted by search suggestions. So if I just do a search, it is sort of pronouncing the word for me as I am typing, and I have seen screen reader users who heavily rely on the screen reader when they are typing. So that is going to be an unwanted distraction when the student or when someone is typing. I'm using a Bluetooth keyboard and I'm tabbing to the search results that I desire, but it is not telling me what I'm focusing on, and sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, so that can be a bit temperamental. Even more so is when you are using the touchpad to click on a search result, the desired action is not always performed, and I think some items are actually duplicated, which can make things a bit more confusing. Another thing that I have noticed is that some pages do take a while to load, and even with the turbo mode enabled, so it would be nice if that was addressed. Just gonna have a look to see if I can find a web page. Now I don't think I can find one for this video, so I'm not really going to meddle in that. So in conclusion, the Yandex browser is packed with great features, which include the Alice voice assistant, so you can perform voice actions with the browser as well as do voice searches. I also should have said that even though the Yandex browser requires you to sign in with an account to use the Alice voice assistant, you do have Google service options, so you don't have to type in your email address. However, that can be temperamental. In terms of other advantages, the Yandex browser also enables you to switch from tab to tab should you desire. However, in terms of the disadvantages, the Yandex browser can be temperamental when you are trying to navigate to search results, both by touchscreen and by the Bluetooth keyboard. So my advice, if you want to give the Yandex browser a go, then feel free to do so. So I hope you have enjoyed this review of the Yandex browser alpha version. If you have any comments, then feel free to leave them in the comments section, and also if you know how to change the language of the Alice voice assistant, I would appreciate that as well. So I will see you soon.